Hello, everybody, and welcome to another edition of Inside Guns with your host, me, the Yankee Marshal. Now, I'm going to have to apologize tonight because this show's probably going to be a little shorter than I like, probably actually a little longer than you all like, but I got distracted watching Throttle House on YouTube, and no, that's not some weird S&M channel. That's another channel entirely. This is a car channel. I started watching a lot of their videos. Forgot what time it was, and it is now 5:17 a.m. And I usually go to bed around 6 a.m., so I ain't got a lot of time because I sat on the couch for what was, I guess, 4 hours watching videos. Time just goes by so quick, especially when you're my age. But I couldn't not do a video today because, I mean, how could you all people go a day without seeing this, you know? Although I doubt, well, this is not as good look as it used to be, so maybe you don't need to see it. And plus, I guess if you just want to see me, you could watch one of my videos, maybe one of my older videos where I actually wasn't quite so damaged, I guess we should say. So why do I do these? There's got to be a reason. I know there's a reason, I just can't for the life of me think of what it is right now. But like I said, I do want to do a video today, so here we go. And I want to talk a little more about everybody's favorite buck-toothed moron, David Chipman. I've been following his nomination, as have a lot of you, since he got nominated by Biden to be the head of the ATF. And this guy is the worst possible grab they could have ever taken for the head of the ATF, which makes you worry about who are they planning to replace him with when people go, we could anybody but this guy. And then they go, okay, well then this guy or gal. So that's what I really wonder right now. Who's going to take Chipman's place when he doesn't get nominated? Because right now it looks like he's not even going to get voted on because the majority whip basically said, Durbin said, can't get enough people that will vote for him to even bring it to the floor. Would be no point in it. And I don't see that changing anytime in the near future. In fact, it's going to get worse because they may not be the majority here in another year or so. So Chipman is pretty much a done deal that he's gone. But just in case you were wondering, there's kind of another nail in his coffin today. Not today, but it's over the last few days. Turns out he's also a racist. A known racist, apparently. He has made several, according to people who worked with him, questionable statements about black people. In fact, one of the ones that was reported on was where he said that he basically said, I can't read it verbatim here because I forgot to bring my printout out here. But he said that the fact that there's so many black people now joining the agency must mean they're cheating on the tests because, you know, surely they're not smart enough to pass the test on their own, being black and all. And apparently there's other things he's said very similar in the past, according to people that have worked with him. Now, the Republicans, when they got this information, they saw this reporting, they said, oh, well, we want another hearing. Because you got to remember, he had a hearing, but it was a tie. So they never reported him for vote because it was a tie. So they can decide what they want to do now, the Democrats. But the Republicans said, we want another hearing to get a chance to vote again. Because surely some Democrats want to change their vote now that they think there's a good chance he might be a racist. But Dick Durbin, you know, Dick Durbin is a kiss ass for Biden. And he's like, oh, no, we're not going to do another one because that journalist is obviously lying. They have a political agenda. Well, what journalist doesn't these days? But still, if you paid attention to the article and if you actually looked, you would see that the complaints against him do exist. You can do a Freedom of Information Act request. And he does have some types of complaints in his file that are basically, you know, equal opportunity complaints. Basically, he was prejudiced, racist. So all that Dick Durbin can actually argue is whether he did exactly what the reporter said he did or he did something slightly different, but he has been reported for racist behavior while he worked for the federal government in his agency. So I don't think there's any doubt that he's said racist stuff, and I don't find it surprising. Usually these people that are so anti-gun are racist because it's a form of elitism. Especially guys like Chipman, the one who thinks he's the white savior of the world. He thinks he's the savior of the world, according to his own words, and usually those people also consider themselves the white savior of the world. Because, you know, he's the one skilled enough to defend us. He's the one that can handle a firearm, not us. No, we couldn't possibly do what his little fat buck-toothed ass can do. No, couldn't possibly. So it's not surprising. Like I said, it's a very similar mindset. That same there's them and then there's me mentality that exists in people like Chipman and the anti-gunners, it is a very similar process mentally to the people who think my race is better than that race simply because I'm a member of my race and I know I'm superior to those people. So the fact that he is racist, not surprising, shouldn't be surprising to anyone. The complaints do exist. So if Durbin wants to argue, all he can say is, if he said something differently, something different that was racist than what's being said. And the stuff that they said, if they made that up, well, they're not really good at making up stuff. I could have made up a lot worse stuff that would have made him look worse. But if you don't believe it, have the hearing. Get the complaints. Look over the complaints. See what was said. What was he reported for? But they don't want to do another hearing because they know there's just more garbage that's going to come out on him. That's just more skeletons in his closet. And I'm not casting many stones for that because skeletons in closet is one of the reasons I don't run for public office, ever. I never would. I got a lot of skeletons in my closet. I've done a lot of bad things. A lot of people think I do a lot of good things nowadays because I'm a good person. No. I do a lot of good things nowadays because I was a very bad person at one point in my life. And I got a lot of shit to make up for it. I don't even believe in heaven or karma. But, cover your ass. I'd like to leave the world with a balanced sheet at least. Just in case, finger crossed. That I hope I'm right and I just turn to dirt after I die. Just worm food. But good God, if I got to answer to somebody, I want to at least level out the playing field a little bit. Getting off topic here. But like I was saying, this guy surprising me is not, being a racist does not surprise me. This is just one more thing that comes up. Like I said, I've got a lot of skeletons in my closet, so I can't throw a lot of stones. If you look in my closet, which is like I said, why I don't run for office, you'd find, let's just say there'd be a lot of them, and they probably wouldn't all be human. So let's not look too closely. Because I've always felt that, whatever a man, a woman, another man, a midget, and a goat do in their own spare time in the privacy of their own home is nobody's business as long as they're all willing participants and everyone's of age. But off topic again here. Chipman, they just don't want to look because they know it's probably true. Because I'm sure they can see that the reports against him are there, the complaints. And I'm sure they can think, wow, yeah, these things do kind of line up with his past behavior. Because he's been in trouble in other places too. And it's also now coming out that he didn't leave his leadership position that he held with the government agency willingly. He was forced out because he was bad for morale. And what do you think that sounds like? Sounds like he was a racist. So Chipman, like I said, people are spending a lot of time worrying about Chipman right now. I don't think anybody needs to worry because I don't think he's ever even going to get a vote. But still pay attention. But like I said, we're still going to have to wait for the other shoe to drop. Even after they get rid of this human fucking buck-tooth skin tag, this lipless wonder here. Once they get rid of him, the person they've got waiting to go, okay, you said anybody but him, here's the anybody. We're still going to have to worry about who that is, and we'll probably have to fight that fight when it comes. But I just don't think Chipman's anyone we need to worry about much. Like I said, pay attention, but I don't think we need to be panicking over it because I just don't think it's going to happen. This guy's got too much baggage. There's too many people already that won't vote for him. And as longer it takes for him to get to a vote, the more shit that's going to come out about this guy. He's a scumbag. He's a parasite. So I just don't see it happening. Now, like I say, I could be wrong. He could get nominated tomorrow, but I'd be willing to bet money that he never gets a vote. So hopefully everyone out there feels as confident as I do, and hopefully I'll be right in this instance. I got to be right sometime. A stopped clock is right twice a day. Well, this is digital. Then, like I say, that's not true. But just like I said, this guy is even worse than people thought, and it's not just his anti-gun. So people on the right shouldn't just be the only people that hate him because of his profiteering off of the anti-gun movement and all that garbage. People on the left should hate him because the guy is an elitist, asshole racist. Don't you hate all white guys anyway? I mean, you should hate this guy too. But like I said, those of us in the gun community, I wouldn't worry too much about this guy because as time goes on, he's even worse and worse of a candidate. So let's just pay attention and worry about who they're going to shove at us next. All right, everybody, before I go today, I do want to do a little update on a couple of things. First off, I want to say to people that have actually asked, and they have actually asked, no, I have not bought a gun since I said yesterday that I wasn't going to buy any guns for the next 6 months. So I'm doing very well. I got my 1 day chip, I guess. Actually, a day and a half because I'm filming it. A day and a quarter because I'm filming. Well, what would that be? Like a day and an eighth? Since I'm filming this so late. But no, it would be a day and a sixth, which doesn't matter. I'm focusing on the wrong thing here. Haven't bought a gun. A lot of people also ask, well, does buying a used gun count as buying a new gun? Well, if it's new to me, it's new. So yes, buying a used gun would count. Someone also asked, would trading one gun for another gun count? No, that wouldn't count. I can trade one gun for another gun because that doesn't cost me any money. And I'm trying to save money for another purchase in the future, Camaro SS. So I know, stupid purchase. I don't want to hear it. From the Camaro haters or even the Camaro lovers or whatever, I know how I am with cars. I know, you don't need to tell me. But like I was saying, all those things are off the table, although I can trade one gun for another. And no, I haven't bought one in the last 24 hours. So I'm doing good. It's 1 day at a time, people. It's 1 day at a time. Those of you out there that suffer the same affliction I do, the gun addiction. I don't know what that's called, though. What is that called? Are we called like powder heads or ammo sexuals, or what are we called? I don't know. I'm happy with any title anyone throws on me because that means somebody's paying attention to me. So I'm happy when anyone calls me anything. It's like when people call me names and stuff and they talk about how much they hate me. They think they're hurting me in some way. I'm like, oh, they're thinking about me. That's awesome. But like I said, because I'm an old middle-class white guy, no one pays any attention to me. I like the hate even. But I don't know why I'm doing the Rodney Dangerfield things here. But also I wanted to add, remember people, I still do the EDC of the day occasionally, pet rescue of the day, and I also have the Ask the Yank things. If you want ask me questions or suggest topics for videos. Also, we still have Slap the Yank. No one ever wants to come on Slap the Yank. I have one person who has sent me something recently, but since I told him come in the chat and let me know whenever you want to come on, he hasn't come back in yet. That doesn't mean he won't do it in the future. He just hasn't done it yet. But people disagree with me so much, but they never have the balls to back it up. Have some balls. It's not like I'm going to just tear you apart if you come in. I mean, I'm going to be fair to you. I'm fair to people. Ask anyone that's come in my chat that I disagree with severely. I'm fair to them. I might call them a moron or a dumbass or a dick, but I'm fair. Because if they are one, that's fair. And I'll let you speak and everything else. So if you've got any of those things, just send me an email at shootingleftofcenter@gmail.com. If you want to ask a question, in the subject line put Ask the Yank. If you want to tell me what I'm wrong about, in the subject line put Slap the Yank. If you want to show me your daily EDC, and remember, be wearing it in your holster, not just a picture of it sitting on a table. We want to actually see you carrying your gun. Label it Viewer EDC. If it's your pet rescue, the pet you saved from a shelter or from a bad situation or however you came about it, you didn't buy them from a breeder, send the email and in the title line, in the subject line, put Pet Rescue. And that way I can still do the little segments. Because a lot of people, I think, when I don't mention them for a while, they forget about them. And I have a bad case of forgetting about things too. Just coming to my live chat and talking something. I forgot to do my video tonight. So I understand where people are coming from when they forget things. But I just wanted to let everyone know those things are still available. Slap the Yank, Ask the Yank, Pet Rescue, Viewer EDC, and the email is still the same, shootingleftofcenter@gmail.com. So send those things in. Don't make me have to think up shit to talk about, or we'll be talking about stupid shit all the time. So go ahead, send those emails in. And like I said to everybody, I have made it 1 day with no purchase of a new gun. And as long as I think the only silver bullet I could see that would take me out definitely is if like a Manhuron came in to Sporting Systems or something. But even then, I think I could still technically follow the rules if I put it on a layaway and just left it there till I buy my new car. But because I have a tendency of taking way too long on layaways. But like I said, please send in those emails with topics, pictures, questions, etc. And also congratulate me on my 1 day, and hopefully by the time I see you again, it'll be 2 days. All right, everybody, that's our show for today. I hope you enjoyed it, what little there was of it, and what content there actually was there, if you can call that content. And I hope you come back again tomorrow. And until you do, I'll just sign off by saying, as I usually do, as far as the state of the world today is concerned, it is what it is. It could be a lot worse, trust me. But it could still be better. And if we as a community start being a little more thoughtful in the way we act and the things we do, stop paying attention to fear mongers, propagandists, fake activists, the people who just want to line their own pockets at our expense while pretending to work for the community while they're really just working for the big businesses that fund them. If we ignore those people, what things will be for people that enjoy the Second Amendment and believe in the Second Amendment and just believe in freedom in general in the very near future is better.